righty. Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I'm Mike Witzak.
My name is Rory Farrell.
And today we have...
Matt Harnick.
And Matt is an agent over at Keller Williams Bluebell.
Which is where we are right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to them letting us use the space. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us in.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
It's funny, out of all the agents we've had on from this office like throughout the years, we've never actually done one in the office. So
there
the
you
first
go.
one. It's perfect. No, it's great.
We can go on the road. We're good at that.
Yeah,
It's nice to get out of the office.
Nice.
It is.
I think it's worth mentioning what quote unquote team you're on, because
Sure. Matt Harnick from the Matt Harnick team.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Easy
It's
to
an
remember
important
for me.
And you know, we kind of just went to. Normally we do the beer, but we're not doing the beer today. I wouldn't even say normally anymore. We were just talking about that. Like we don't.
yeah, we're getting old, man.
I know.
At least one of us is.
I drank enough this weekend. So I'm cool with skipping it. So we're just gonna jump kind of right into you. And the first thing I always ask, you know, all the realtors we have on is, how did you get started in real estate? Was it your first career, or was this like a lot of realtors get into it later on in life?
No, that's a really good question. It actually is a second career for me. My first career was actually in video production. I owned a video production house, and I ran that for 15 years. And then in 2008, the recession hit, and the business, which had been going like this, all of a sudden just went like that over the course of a year. A lot of wedding videography, corporate video, and budgets were gone. I had my license for about 2 to 2.5 years at that point, and I just decided at this point, you know what, it's time to do something different.
Yeah.
So here I am. It'll be 19 years licensed in February. It'll be 16 years here in July.
Oh,
Here
wow.
as in Keller Williams Bluebell.
As in Keller Williams Bluebell.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
my second brokerage.
That's awesome.
So you obviously had your license prior to jumping the ship into the career fully. What made you get it the first? Like, was there something you're like, hey, push me over the edge and buy my own house, or?
So that's a really good question. It probably happens that way for a lot of people. For me, yeah, I was 24 years old. I bought my first place, which was a triplex in Elkins Park, which I still own.
Wow.
And in preparation for doing that, I thought, you know, I may want to learn a little more about doing this. So I took the classes, and I never got my license, but I did take the classes. 10 years, and that was in 1995. 10 years later, almost 11 years, in 1995, 96, in 2005, 2006, my oldest was born in February of 06. And I had been thinking about it, and at that point, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It probably wouldn't hurt to have like a backup plan. Mm-hmm. So I got licensed in 06. And then I ended up, you know, again, 2.5, 3 years later, ended up using it. Wow. My dad and I had a conversation. I am actually a fourth generation real estate person.
Okay.
I can't say professional because I'm the first licensee. But great-grandfather was a developer. Grandfather was an investor. My dad was an investor. And I am an investor and also an agent.
Wow.
So
were they all doing that in this area, or were they?
Yeah.
Even your great
my great-grandfather developed half of Chester, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
My grandfather owned a business and also some rental stuff in Levittown, Pennsylvania. My dad mostly Montgomery County, a little bit in Philadelphia, and then me in Montgomery County.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's not always, but a lot of times there's that connection of family history, or even if they weren't quote unquote professionals, it's like they had triplexes and they bought and sold a bunch. And
Some sort of background. Yeah.
Lots.
that like sparks interest as a young person.
Oh yeah, I mean, as an early teenager, I was building walls with my dad and like lifting refrigerators up steps as an early age. Sorry, Dad, you really did make me do that.
Dad's a big
That's
fan
good.
of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He will
tuned
be.
in right now.
He'll enjoy this.
Oh, good. No, builds character though. You know what I mean? I did the same thing with my father. He was what am I trying to say? A carpenter for 25 years in the union, but he was always like working side jobs. I was always laboring with him from a young age. But it taught me a ton. It's like without him in my life, I would be screwed now as an investor and somebody that's looking at real estate. Like I wouldn't know who to go to or who to call.
That's it.
I'd be paying a lot of money to get that.
A lot of
stuff
times
done.
you're calling him.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Pop, can you come?
Could you go
install
do
this? Or
Yeah. Yes.
Do you invest as well? Do you own?
Yeah. I
Do
have
you?
two. I have 2 rental properties. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
it's always something I suggest to anybody that does real estate or is in this world.
And he started right around when you started in your early 20s.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which is so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, every property I go into, I have to try to figure out, you know, would I want to buy this? And it's happened a few times. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. And so you bought your first place. How old were you?
24.
24. And so you were like, you just thought to yourself, hey, maybe I should learn more about real estate, and you decided to take the real estate classes?
Yeah, I wish I'd gotten my license too. I mean, 10, 11 years later before I did, I mean, it was some golden years in real estate, and they're not gone yet.
No.
But those were phenomenal years.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, like, all of my buddies, if they went to go buy a place right now, not a single one of them would be like, oh yeah, I'll go take the real estate, like the courses to learn more about real estate.
Well,
That's
they
a
don't
smart
have
move.
to. They just have to call us.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
We got the
Alyssa.
guy for you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But
So,
he did the same thing. You took all your courses, right?
I did. Yeah, I
Did
did. I did prior to even thinking about buying a house. Actually, I thought I was going to be a realtor. And then I took all the courses, went to go take the test, and they were like, all the testing centers are closed because of COVID. So then I said, okay, I won't take the test anymore. And then I just,
I guess I'm not
Thanks,
going to be a
COVID.
realtor.
yeah. So I ended up falling into mortgages anyway. So
Nice.
worked out. But to follow that up, so then in 08, did you join a team then after, was it 09 or 08?
Yeah, I started here. I was at another brokerage part-time.
Okay.
And then when I was going to come, ultimately be full-time, I came here. No, I was a solo agent until 2021. Yeah, 2021 when I hired Mish.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
the
somewhat
team
recent.
really only started 4 years ago.
Okay, cool. I feel
Although-
like maybe it's just your name, but I feel like the Matt Harnick team is in my head. I'm here all the time anyway, so maybe I'm just seeing the signage and stuff. But
Could be. I mean, I used the,
Maybe you're really
the,
good at
the
marketing.
name, the Matt Harnick team, although it was a team of one person for a while.
oh, maybe that's
Oh,
what it
okay,
was.
so
so
that's
then,
very
yeah.
possible.
You're
would
just thinking in
definitely
the
see your
future.
name.
You're planning ahead.
Yeah.
There you go. No, that's
I have
Perfect.
another realtor that same thing. She's young and she did that. She's like started, yada yada team, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like who's working? She's like, oh no, I will though. Like I'll be hiring soon. I'm
Yeah.
like, cool.
That's kind of the way it worked.
That's all that matters, though. I mean, it's so then you were just hanging your license somewhere, and then when you decided full time, you came here to Keller Williams Bluebell,
Correct.
started full time, and then has there been? There has to be. Has there been a big difference from going from, hey, I'm a solo agent, I only have to worry about like my own stuff, calling my own leads and following up on my own people, to now you're running a team and you have some realtors under you that are working, and you also have an assistant or like a manager of your
Ops
team as well,
manager,
an
yeah.
ops manager. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
And it's like now you're running a business on top of your business. You're not just a solo agent anymore. Has
Yeah.
that been difficult or?
No, actually, it's been a lot. Well, I mean, it has its challenges for sure. We've grown. I mean, there's growing pains, but no, I mean, honestly, in many ways, it has gotten easier because as my business started to grow, I could just see the writing on the wall that there was going to come a point where I would really need help.
Yeah.
And that time came in 2020 when I was the busiest I'd ever been. And, I was working out of here, but I was also still working from home, to a degree, back and forth from here to the office during COVID when everything was shut down. A lot of agents I know just had a really terrible year. We had a phenomenal year. And at the end of the year, even though I'd been working from home for a lot of it, I just decided, I'm like, I didn't see my wife a lot this year, barely saw my kids, and they were home. I'm like, I can't do this again. So I actually linked up with a company that helped me basically, recruit, hire, and then train Mish,
Wow.
which was best move I ever made.
That's great.
Bar none. Yep.
That's awesome. And then it kind of just went from there. It rolled into getting other agents and going from there.
Yeah, we decided that once it was just the two of us, it made sense to grow the team. We currently have Alyssa. I know you've met Alyssa on a previous
been on,
podcast
yeah.
as well, and she's worked with you too.
Yep.
So Alyssa's currently our third member of the team now. We've had the two other operations people. It didn't work out. And then we've also had two other agents. Didn't work out with one of them. One of them we missed terribly. They had an awesome opportunity to move to North Carolina. And ideally what's going to happen is he's going to start the Matt Harnick team South Raleigh office.
Oh, awesome.
Soon. So
That'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it worked. It morphed into just, it was just the two of us. It was a natural progression just to sort of add other teammates.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you already have your ops manager, have her help with other people too.
Mish basically runs the team. Mish runs the business. I'm the team lead, but I'm out there just like Alyssa. I'm active. We're working with buyers and sellers. Mish runs the team.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really great. Yeah, no, Misha's awesome too. Just meeting her for the first time a couple weeks ago and coming in here and hanging out, I was like, she's like the life of the party. You know what I mean? She comes in the
Great
room.
hugger.
Great hugger. Yeah.
Great hugger.
Great hugger.
Absolutely
Just learned that
great
about
hugger.
me.
Yes, just learn that. But no, that's
You both
really
got
cool.
mooshes from Mish.
Yeah.
That's what they call.
Clip it.
Clip it. Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, before you jump in, I have a question. So you
please.
had mentioned like, oh, you guys had a really good year, 2020, 2021, when other teams didn't. Do you have any insight on why that happened for you guys? Like, did you guys do something differently, or you just kind of the ebbs and flows of this industry, or any insights?
I mean, 2020 was just me. So that was before it was the two of us. I mean, at the time, it was literally just about, looking for leads, following up. I've always just been one of those guys that just kind of just plow ahead and I'll worry about the repercussions later. I didn't really think about what was going on. I mean, I was thinking about COVID, but I just plowed ahead and just did what I had to do.
Yeah.
Maybe other people were a little bit more like, not say cautious, but they were just like sitting back like, this is only going to last a little bit. I'll just chill for a little bit or something. And then you just kept going maybe.
I mean, I was cautious, and a year later I had COVID for the first time of 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah,
But no, I mean, at that year, it was really just about like, what do I got to do I mean, no one kind of knew where it was going at that point, at that point. So I'm like, I just got to keep going.
I guess that was more, I didn't mean cautious in a way like you were cautious around COVID, cautious from a business standpoint. Like, oh, maybe there's only going to be 2 weeks and I'll just kind of sit back and wait for this to blow over, where you maybe just kind of were like, well, I just got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe that had something to do with it.
I mean, I was cautious in both ways. It was just without really knowing what was coming later. It just, from a business standpoint and from a COVID standpoint, I'm like, we just got to keep going.
Yeah. You've been in it for too long. Can't stop now.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very quiet office. I was one of the few people that was here that year.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
My dad used to work for the company as well for Marathon. And he's like, he's 72 now, but he was very much like, this is my comforting spot. This is where I get my work done, and no one else was in the office. And he's like, I'm going in. I might as well be there. Right?
Pretty much.
So yeah, he was there every day from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. That was like full refi season for us. So like we were cranking at that point.
Yeah, same.
So
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. Yeah, I had just gotten there as soon as COVID ended,
yeah.
so everybody was back in the office by the time I showed up. But that's what his father's a funny guy though. I don't know if have you ever came across our office before? Maybe on list sides probably, but I don't think we've ever worked together on a buy side. But Dan was like a processor in our office, his dad, and he was like the funniest dude ever. But he was always super A type, super like pen and paper in order all the time, and I could definitely see him showing up every day for COVID.
Yeah, no lists and spreadsheets and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
old school.
Now he's retired. I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was like, what do you think he does all day?
Hangs out.
Maybe
with
you listen to this podcast. Maybe you can let us know.
What's up, Dan?
That's so funny. So going forward, I guess, over the next couple years and looking out into the future here, everybody's like, oh, inventory and rates, and there's a lot of like uncertainty. Do you plan like, hey, if an agent shows up and I feel like they're right for the team, I'm going to hire them? Or are you guys actively trying to expand your team, or kind of do you have any plans like that? I guess I could say.
Yeah, I mean, we're from a recruiting standpoint, I'd say we're always actively searching and looking. I mean, we have plans in the works right now, ideally to onboard someone, hopefully over the next couple of months. But we're always looking. There's no limit to how big our team can get. I know Mish would agree with me that we're not looking to grow too big. I think, and I don't know what that looks like, but there's going to come a point where we're like, yeah, that's big enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But for now, yeah, I mean, we're in growth mode.
That's great.
Cool.
Yep.
And then when you hit that threshold, it'll be a feeling like, all right, cool, this is the right fit.
There's going to be a sweet spot,
yeah,
for sure. I mean, not only that, but obviously we could grow it to whatever size we wanted it to. But for now, I know that there's definitely a feeling that we would have where we would start to lose touch with, we have a very winning combination of the way that we, work with clients, treat clients, talk about our clients. For us in the beginning of the year when we set goals, and certainly at the end of the year when we look at how we hit those goals, we're not talking about how many units we hit or achieved or our sales. It's about how many families we helped that year. We don't want to really ever lose that feeling of helping people.
Yeah.
And hopefully the bigger we get, the more people we can help versus having to be concerned about losing touch with the reason we're in it to begin with.
Yeah, definitely. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Huge thing with our office. Tom is very selective about who he hires and how many people, and ultimately he doesn't want to let people go too. Like, we're slow now, and
Yep.
a lot of people would have been let go in other companies, and it's about cultivating the vibe and like making sure that you have the right people in place to take care. Like, achieve your end goal of helping the most people.
Absolutely.
Like exactly what you said. So
yeah. I mean, again, there was an agent on our team that just, it wasn't really a good fit on either side. And we parted comfortably and everything was fine. But, with the right people in place, we could really grow as big as we wanted to, provided that we really keep holding to those, precepts that we have in terms of being able to help people.
Those like core values. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's really all it comes down to in this business. It's like, because if you don't keep those core values and you drift away from them, it kind of changes with past clients and then getting future clients, and it really could just mess things up. So
I know a lot of teams that grew too big too quickly, and they had to really cut down and retool and realize that they lost the reason they got into this business to begin with.
100%.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, it's a people business. It's like, it's sales. It's, there's business, parts of it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's customer service and, retaining clients and having them refer you. Because
absolutely.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
Without those people, there's no people to help.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's part of the reason why we started this podcast, because during COVID, when like people weren't going to settlements as often, or they're not coming to the office anymore to do applications, yada yada. It's like, how do we get people to kind of know us and get our vibe and like trust us, really? Because like, it's hard. I mean, you guys are going out and you're showing people houses like person to person. A lot of what we do is over the phone, email.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're sharing financial information and like kind of that very critical information. Like, you really want to know that you can trust the person on the other end of the line. And that's part of the reason why we started this. And then we're kind of morphed into like, well, how do we get realtors involved so that people can know them as well?
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
because we're in the same business. Really, it's just we're people
now,
sales. Not
to like pivot too much, but there's two other things I wanted to touch on with you that I wanted to bring up if you're comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
But so the first thing I wanted to bring up to you that's outside of real estate is on Facebook. You had posted, you've been on, like, we were actually just talking about it when you walked in here, the weight loss journey that you've been going through, which I thought was really impressive. I normally never comment on anybody's post, but I thought it was really cool.
I sit up straighter.
Yeah.
Shoulders back.
That's right.
But no, I mean, if you want to talk about it a little bit more, you could dive into it obviously better than I can, but it's really impressive what you've done. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I put it out there. I don't mind talking about it at all. As a teenager, as a younger person, I'm 54. I was always thin. I ran track as a younger person. God, it feels so weird to say younger person.
It's all relative.
I ran track. I mean, I was very active, and then I started working like an office job and got behind a desk, and just very slowly I could just see the differences, to the point where I was not very comfortable with my weight as we approached COVID. And then during COVID, I mean, I'll lay it out there. I gained 25 pounds during COVID.
Yeah, COVID.
And it was just terrible. And I couldn't take it off. And I got to a point where, my best friend is an exercise physiologist. It's not bad. And we were working out 3 days a week, and it was just, nothing was changing. Diet, everything, nothing seemed to work. So I got to a point where I'm like, I'm just fed up with this. So I actually talked to my doctor about getting on Zepbound. I hear that too.
Yeah, I don't know what that feedback is from.
Could be.
You fiddling with that down there? Hold
on. I'm trying to keep it away from the mic because.
Hold on.
That sounds good to me.
All right. Yeah, good.
So I talked to my doctor about Zepbound, and I've been on it now since July 1st, I believe, was the first day. And it's been 40 pounds. I hit 40 the other day.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. With a goal of 50. And then 50 for the first year. And then I still have a little further to go after that.
It's a lot of weight.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of, 40 is a lot of weight.
It's a big difference.
I put on a 20-pound weighted vest sometimes to work out, like at the gym. You know what I'm talking, like for Murph and stuff. It's like 20 pounds is a lot of weight. My heart rate was 192 beats per minute when I was running with the extra 20 pounds. It's like 50, over double that. It's a lot of weight to lose, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the biggest difference that you feel?
Well, I mean, in terms of like physically, I mean, I'm sleeping just so much better. I have so much more energy. I'm getting up, instead of struggling to get up at like 6:30 or whatever, I'm getting up at like 4:35, like wide awake.
Just ready to rock?
Ready to rock.
Wow.
Is that when you work out in the morning, or?
I actually have to get back to the workouts.
Oh, okay.
Adam.
There you go. Yeah. Get on him.
Thanks, Adam. No, just wide awake, ready to face the day. That's great.
What do you do?
The volume of food, I What was that?
What do you do at 4:30 in the morning? I assume none of your family's awake.
My brain starts going, and I start thinking of all the things I have to do. And sometimes I get up and come to the office early. It's all good. But the amount of food, I mean, I'm literally probably eating half the amount of food that I was eating.
Okay.
Which is great. As we sort of talked about in the beginning of our happy hour podcast, I have literally lost the taste for alcohol. I have no desire at all. I was always, I was never a big drinker. I would have a beer, I would have a bourbon. No interest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a good thing.
So
Yeah, it is. It's a very good thing.
my son's excited because all the cases that I have in the basement, as soon as he turns 21,
Yeah.
you can take them all to Penn State with him.
There you go. We got a couple Penn State grads right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
No
We're all
kidding.
Penn State grads.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really count. He went during COVID. So.
yeah.
Oh,
Like, yeah. Branch
You missed the
campus.
best part of Penn
It was-
State.
Yeah.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I get it.
But my degree says Penn State, so yeah,
It does say
I
that,
went to Penn State. But that's I guess that's all that matters. But that's really cool, and I wanted to kind of hear more about that and how that's been going and everything because I read it on Facebook but I haven't seen you since I read that, so I wanted to bring that up and see if you're cool about it.
Thanks. It's great. I mean, I think the problem is there's a lot of stigma about, some people are able to just stop eating. You shouldn't stop eating. Some people are able to exercise it off. For me, I just tried way too many things. And in private, a lot of people messaged me and they're like, dude, I have the same thing. I don't want to talk about it because the stigma or whatever. And I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's like if that post could help one person just not feel, self-conscious about just doing whatever they need to do because I had to take the weight off.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's health. It's like whatever you got to do to be healthier. Like it shouldn't be. And as you get older, I think there's probably a easier pill to swallow. Like I don't really care what it is. Just how do I get healthier? How do I live longer? How do I be more productive in my daily life?
Yeah,
Exactly.
The stuff in my mind that always blows my mind is like anybody that has anything to say differently about what you do. It always baffles me because I'm so confused by it because I don't
cares?
like. Yeah, that's what I mean. Who cares? Like, if you want to take that stuff, by all means, please do it. It's going to make you a healthier person. But like for some reason, there's some stigma to it that I just don't understand. I don't get that part. But no, I love it, and I wanted just to bring it up, and it was really
Thanks,
cool.
man.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Now the other thing, I guess there's two other things. One other thing is quick. You'd mentioned your son. Any plans? How many kids do you have?
2.
Okay.
Josh and Danny. Josh has just finished his freshman year at Penn State. Danny's a rising incoming junior at Upper Dublin High School.
Awesome.
Okay.
Now, any interest in real estate there or no?
Coincidentally, as we sit here, Josh just cracked the books on his real estate first class.
Oh,
okay, cool.
awesome.
Take. Yep.
That's great.
I don't know if he's going to do it long term, but the thought would be that while he's at Penn State, over those summers and winters, he can certainly work with us, showing homes, etc. While he's up there, it can't hurt to get involved with it and it'd be a good college job.
Why not? Yeah.
If not long term.
Was that something that he approached you about, or was it a mutual conversation? Did you approach him about it?
He's been approached about it since he was born.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I started taking the first course really as like the week he was born.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, honey. But no, he's
busy.
been around it his whole life. Both kids think it's really cool. I don't think Danny has any interest necessarily, but he could.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Young. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still coming.
And then the one other thing I wanted to touch on that I was really curious about too was the band piece here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we just learned that you're in a band.
Yeah. So what's that all about? I didn't know because we briefly touched on it right before we started the pod.
No. Shout out to the guys in Hindsight. I've been around the music scene professionally since like probably 2007, 2008.
Okay.
And around 2017, I joined a band called the Sofa Kings, which has been all around.
Whoa.
Yeah, Sofa King cool, let me tell you.
I don't think the mic is getting it.
No, I understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
And that was a lot of fun.
I'm just amazed. I didn't know any of this, so I'm just like soaking it all in right now.
Well, we're new friends on Facebook.
Okay,
so
yeah.
You'll come to see.
I'll have to stalk you one night. I'll go through. Yeah.
Hey, come to a gig.
All right.
You get to hear me rap some old school stuff.
No way.
We'll be at a gig. We'll be at a
Green Parrot, Newtown. We'll be there.
Actually, I think the upcoming gig that we're doing at the Green Parrot in Newtown, we're adding the White Lines version by Duran Duran, which also has the Grandmaster Flash rap in, which
cool.
is what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
So I've been around it for a long time. Joined the Sofa Kings in 2017 for about 4 years. And then the band has since split up, but 4 of us from the Sofa Kings decided to form another band called Hindsight. And it's been a great run so far. We're having a lot of fun with it. 70s, 80s, 90s, rap, dance, pop, disco. I mean, like a little bit of everything. And a few years ago, actually, we were really fortunate. Jordan Mailata, who's a client of our team, who coincidentally today, I just saw a clip of Jordan singing Tennessee Whiskey backstage with or to Chris Stapleton, the musician that wrote and sang it, which is great. And we actually have on video Jordan singing it and performing it with us at a benefit, probably about 3 years ago now, actually.
That's so cool.
Unbelievable talent on the field, and his vocal prowess is just
It doesn't match. Somehow you're like, what?
Yeah.
How's that happening?
he's incredible.
Extremely talented.
What a
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah.
He got a lot of the nice chips.
And when he's done for the Eagles, he'll come play for my rugby team. Yeah.
Or sing with our band.
Yeah, or sing
Or
with the
maybe
band.
we'll play with his band,
Yeah,
I
there you
should say. Yeah, but that was kind of cool to see.
That's
that.
so cool.
All my friends were like, "Oh, Joe, dude, did you see this?" I'm like, "Yeah, check this out." Send them, But yeah, we enjoy it. It's just I have no goals to go pro or anything like. I mean, I guess if you get paid for it, it is pro.
Yeah.
Not full time, but it's a wonderful pastime, hobby. We have a lot of
Yeah.
fun with it.
That's so cool. That's so dope. I love that. That's
Yeah.
just like something you'd never know about, and then it's just like a hobby of yours that you really enjoy, and it's just cool.
This is why we do the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Right? To get to know people.
Actually, a number of years ago, it was probably 2018. The Sofa Kings actually closed Music Fest in Bethlehem. We were like the last act on Levitt Pavilion. There was just thousands of people outside there. It was great. I have that on video too. That whole show.
So cool.
Is that the biggest crowd you ever did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
cool.
that was awesome.
That's gnarly.
Well, me personally, the Sofa Kings actually won the MG before I was with the band. Open for Heart.
Okay.
At I'm not sure if it was whatever it was called in Camden. It seems to change every year now.
The
But
Tweeter Center.
Tweeter Center,
Yeah.
Back then, yeah.
or the waterfront.
Yeah, it's always the waterfront, right?
Yeah, they opened for Heart. So that when unfortunately I was not part of the band at that time, but that was
That's
pretty cool.
awesome. I'm gonna reset that real quick. It stops every
Yeah.
29 minutes.
So far, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, good.
real quick about the band. So, you're obviously vocals, singing, rapping. Anything else you play in music as well?
Yeah, I'm actually the keyboard player for the band.
Okay, cool.
I play some other instruments, but with the band, it's keys. Yeah, and the whole band sings better than me. So, occasionally I'll lend like a backing vocal or something, but I do the rapping.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
I gotta see this.
Bust a Move, Humpty Dance. I think we've done Rapper's Delight.
Oh, Rapper's Delight's
There's
a
a
good
few
one.
others, but right now it's going to be White Lines. That's the one we have coming up.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so funny. My brother's actually a very, very talented piano player, but he never plays anymore. He has like a gifted ear. He can hear something and he just can kind of like play it. Take some, yeah. So it's the
I'm
same
so
boat.
impressed by people like that. Like I have zero music.
So am
I
I.
love music. Listen, music is on our house all day, every day. Love it, appreciate it. None of us have one musical bone in our bodies.
I love my brother to death. It's like the coolest thing he could do. He doesn't do it. I'm like, dude, you got to
blowing
like
it.
lean into the piano thing, man.
blowing it.
Yeah, he is. I'm like, come on, man. Oh my God. But all right, yeah. Did you want to do a win? Did you want to touch on anything else? Is there anything else you wanted to
Yeah,
ask
I
or
think
go
that's.
over?
I mean, unless you got some other deep dark secret we didn't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got plenty. How much time do we have? Wins. Saturday was a gorgeous day. I went to the shore, and I was hoping to. My boat just went in the water last week, and I was hoping to kind of take a little bit of a cruise, just check everything out for the season. Unfortunately, it was 40-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
winds, so it didn't get out. But no, it was just a great day. And then Mother's Day, wonderful weekend. Both sets of parents we celebrated with. It was great. We hosted.
Cool.
It's just
Down the shore or back home?
Here,
Back
back
home
home.
now.
Awesome.
In Ambler, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's a
It
killer
was
win.
a nice weekend. Yeah, it was just
It
nice
was.
to be outside. It like felt like, all right, this is the end of spring, beginning of
Summer's
summer. It's like it felt,
finally
especially down the
cruising in.
shore. The sun was out. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Nice.
Can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Memorial Day's only 2 weeks away.
It's coming up.
Yeah,
Coming up.
indeed.
Very good.
All right.
Well, no.
good win. That I love to hear a personal win because people have professional and that's fine too. But like, it's just good to have some personal things going on.
Actually, I do have a professional win.
Go for it.
Go right ahead.
We just found out last week that we're nominated for being rated by Real Trends, which
Okay.
I I got that email and I was just looking at it. I'm like, wow, really? So,
That's great.
Yeah,
Very cool.
That's a very big win.
that's a big win. Looking forward to getting that too.
Great. Well, there you go.
That's a good way to end the pod.
Great way to end the podcast.
Thanks,
Matt,
guys.
no, thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
for
thanks for
coming
coming on.
We're
Thanks for
appreciate
hosting
it.
us.
No,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me.
And,
Thanks for watching.
Looking forward to just getting to know you more on Facebook and working with your team.
Yeah.
Likewise. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Happy Friday.
All right, happy Friday. See ya.
Happy Friday.